I'm going to go ahead and call a public safety meeting to order, please. All members are present. We did have a meeting last week, so can I get approval of those minutes, please? We have a second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. I appreciate it. So we have 3 new pieces in front of us. For our first piece, authorizing the purchasing agent to enter into a contract or contracts without the formality of advertising for bids for 28 ballistic helmets and vests from Blue Line Innovations, LLC, for the Akron Fire Division and declare an emergency. And we have Deputy Mayor of Public Safety Charlie Brown with us and the Akron Fire Department. Please introduce yourselves too, if you don't mind, when you speak. Thanks.
Sure, thank you, Chair. To my left is District Chief Captain Caracas, and District Chief Dobbins, and I'm going to refer this matter to them.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Today we are requesting the purchase of ballistic helmets and vests for the Akron Fire Department. We request to purchase the equipment from Blue Line Innovations, LLC. Our EMS department has diligently researched this gear and feels this company has the product that best fits our needs. The legislation will allow us to purchase 28 sets of ballistic helmets and vests to protect EMS personnel to meet the emerging threats faced by safety forces during active shooter situations. This equipment will greatly increase the safety and protection of EMS personnel while allowing them to provide life-saving medical care under adverse and dangerous conditions. The funding for this will come from the Fire Department's 2017 capital budget. Now, you may recall we were here a couple weeks ago for ballistic helmets and vests. We currently are waiting to hear back from Northern Ohio Golf Charities. We asked for full funding for 58 sets that would provide for 4 sets on each med unit. There are indications, and going into this grant, we felt that we might not be fully funded and we may be partially funded. So this is of high importance to us, so we decided we had some capital budget remaining at the end of 2017, and we wanted to use that to at least outfit each of our med units with 2 sets so we can move forward with new SOPs so we can work better in conjunction with APD during these type of incidents. So we're looking to purchase half. We're still hopefully waiting to hear back from Northern Ohio Golf Charities that might provide the other half. So I have Captain Caracas with me, who's the one who put the grant together for Northern Ohio Golf Charities, and he did the research on the different vendors for the helmets and vests. So at this time, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from committee members? Mrs. Sims, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So if we get the full funding, we'll still just buy 58, but if we don't, we won't buy 87, will we?
No, we don't feel that we're going to get the full funding.
Okay.
We feel strongly that we may, I think at the best, get half of the funding. So
okay.
By purchasing half with our capital budget, we foresee being able to get everything we need with partial funding from Northern Ohio. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Sims.
I submitted an amended letter last week to Golf Charities lowering our request to half.
Thank you, Mrs.
Yeah,
Sims.
I'm sorry. I meant to add that also, that when we decided to do that, we reached out to Northern Ohio Golf Charities and let them know that initially we had asked for 58, but because we felt so strongly about this and we potentially had the funding, that we were going to go ahead and purchase 28. So they knew that we weren't asking for the initial full funding.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, committee, council members?
Did they give you any kind of timeline on when they're going to get back to you with their decision?
Yeah, they said the end of January, early February, we should get some word back on our success.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Madam President, please.
Thank you. I know that when we look at things, there's different ratings that are given to, and we can go with a basic helmet and vest. I hope that we are going above the basic when you're looking at those, and I would like that to be given to us, whatever that is that whatever you're looking at in the bid process and everything, that we know that you are going to be taken care of, not just with the basic, but with a little bit more.
A lot of research was done into manufacturers for these vests, and I had a lot of contact with the city of Columbus, who are in the process of purchasing their second set. They went with Blue Line Innovations, so we ended up receiving their discount pricing.
Okay.
But the reason they went with them was because they're the only manufacturer, to my knowledge, that makes a one-size-fits-all vest. And when we're putting 4 of them on each med unit, we want to ensure that everybody that is on there is going to be able to fit into a vest and not try to guess at the assortment of sizes we're going to have to stock on each one. So this is a one-size-fits-all vest that is very high quality.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear, high quality, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam President. You got Mr. Hoke.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know this is something that's been on the table for a number of years, and it's been talked about, and I just wanted to say thank you for, bringing it forward and getting it started, because I know that in different areas and in communities there have been problems with the EMS people under attack, and somebody has gone after them, and I appreciate looking out for the guys that are out there on the front line, and so just wanted to say thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Hoke. Mr. Swirsky.
Looking into what Mr. Hook said, and also thanks for looking out for taxpayers' pocketbooks, trying to find other sources of funding. So,
Thank
good initiative.
Thank you, Mr. Swirsky. Anything else in regards to this piece of legislation? Just to remind the committee, this is our last meeting for the year, and what is suspension of the rules in your favor today?
Yeah, we're looking to suspend the rules. We'd like to move this forward as quickly as we can.
All right, thank you.
Second.
All in favor? All right, thank you. We'll suspend the rules on this piece. All right, on to our next piece. Ordinance authorizing the purchasing agent to enter into a contract or contracts without the formality of advertising for bids for 4 mobile radios from Motorola Solutions for Akron Fire Division command vehicles and declare an emergency. Back at you.
Thank you. Chief Dobbins, or
I'll start off real quick, and Chief Dobbins can answer any detailed questions. We'd like to respectfully request the purchase of 4 mobile radios for the Akron Fire Department command vehicles. Those are our battalion vehicles and shift commander vehicle. The current mobile radios in those vehicles are not fully compatible with the new radio system that was purchased 2015. These new radios will allow full compatibility with the current radio system. Funding for this purchase will also come from the Fire Department's 2017 capital budget. So at this point, if you have any other questions, myself or District Chief Dobbins be happy to answer.
Thank you, thank you. Any questions? Committee members? Mrs. Sims, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So is there any use for those radios that you're getting rid of? Is there any life use for them?
Yes, I mean, but not for public service. I mean, not for safety services. They're still somewhat effective. They're just not compatible with our present system that we're with.
So we can use them for...
If we need to use it for parks or something like that, I'm sure that the radio system would still work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Sims. Any other questions, committee members, council members? All right. Same thing, towards the end of the year.
Yeah, absolutely, and we are receiving a pretty hefty discount because this was part of a larger purchase back in 2015, so Motorola Solutions is offering a 40% discount, but they have put a deadline the end of this year on it, so if we could suspend the rules so we can move that forward. Thank you.
All in favor? All right, we'll pass that this evening. I think that's all we have for the Akron Fire Department. Next ordinance, authorizing the purchasing agent to enter into contract or contracts without the formality of advertising for bids for 15 Lenovo computers, if I pronounce that right, service plans, docks, and DVD burners from Lenoville for new Akron Police Division vehicles and declare an emergency. Correct me if I didn't pronounce that correctly, please. Lenovo. All right, Lenovo. Well, thank you.
One of us is probably right.
Lenovo. All right, go ahead. I'll turn it over to you. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a request for 15 Lenovo laptop computers. These are going to be used for multi-purposes. One of those purposes is for mobile data terminals in the cars that we're responding to calls in. What's nice about these is that they can also be used as laptop computers, and with a docking station, which is requested here, they can be used as a desktop. So we're taking advantage of some technology, using air cards to communicate with our CAD system to allow us to hook up wherever we are. And we're able to save about $12,500 just on 5 of these computers, because prior to this, we'd buy a desktop for a workstation at work, and then we'd have to buy another computer for the captain's cars. This allows us to pick that up off our desk, go put it in our car. We don't have to buy both, just rely on that one unit. Okay. So at least for those 5 cars, as well as the district, the deputy chiefs and the chief, we're saving $12,500 on 5 units.
Okay, thanks. Any questions, committee members? Mrs. Sims, please.
Is it possible we can get the legislation uploaded? It wasn't there as an attachment. So
sure.
If you can tell me how much is the overall cost for the purchase?
Yes, ma'am. So we are, as I said, talking about 15 units plus service on those units for 3 years, and then the 5 docking stations, which I talked about, which allow them to be used as desktops. Total cost is $25,505.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And just Mrs. Sims did ask for, and I'm looking at Mr. Hoke's laptop or iPad, there is no attachment to number 13 for public safety. So even though I have a printout, you can look at the printout if you want, Mrs. Sims, for now that I have.
That's fine.
So with that, any other questions? Sorry, any other questions? Yep, sure. Council members? All right, with that, this is our last meeting for the year. Are you in favor of suspension of the rules?
If that's appropriate, yes.
Okay. What I'll do is leave it up to the 2 colleagues that are looking at the paper legislation.
Have another copy if it helps expedite
if they're
things.
comfortable with moving forward. Yeah, go ahead. No, sure.
So with these particular ones, you have to have an external DVD reader or burner, which I've had to put on mine, but they won't all need those. Really, with the advancement of technology, DVDs are kind of almost passe at this point, but I do. For example, when I'm sorry, I interrupted you. So it's a USB attachment into the back of the computer. It runs to a cable outside, and then...
Not physically, for what purpose do they serve law enforcement?
If I want to make a copy of a DVD that's provided as a piece of evidence, for example,
There you go.
I could download that from my computer and burn it onto a DVD.
I should have thought.
Cool. Good? All right. I'll leave it up to you two if you don't mind. Do we have a favorable report to suspend the rules? Can we have someone make that, please?
Motion for suspension of the rules?
Second. All in favor? Aye. We'll pass that this evening. Thank you for coming down. I appreciate it. With that, we're
Thank you.
adjourned. Yeah. Now I realize. I think he heard me.
Yeah, health and social service, then budget.
Mobia's not here?
Yep.
I'll take a smoke.
Which one are you ready to pull from consent agenda?
We used to have a Princess Pump. Say to you, buddy.
Cancel public utilities.
What? I don't smoke in here. Wish I could. Used to. Marco, what's up? All right, where are we?
I'd like to call to order the Health and Social Service Committee.
Oh,
For the record, present is Freeman, Sims, and Milkovich. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes from the last meeting?
So move.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Nothing on our old agenda, I don't believe. And we have one resolution, and this is a resolution approving and confirming the appointment of Wileen Edwards to the Senior Citizens Commission to fill a vacant seat and declaring an emergency. Ms. Albanese.
Good afternoon, council members, council president. Wileen Edwards is here, and she'd be happy to answer any questions if you have them of her. But I can tell you, as most of you read in my email, when the mayor first reestablished the Senior Citizens Commission, Wileen was the first person to contact me about getting involved. At that time, the members of the commission had already been chosen, but I kept a log, and so when there was a vacancy, she was my first thought. I took the thought to the mayor, and he knows Wileen. He has had a chance to speak with her, and he said, definitely, yes, please ask her. And so she's delighted to serve. As you saw from her letter, she brings a great deal of experience and a wealth of knowledge around gun violence to and very concerned about seniors, especially our most vulnerable seniors. And so if you want to ask her any questions, she's right here. And with that, we would like your support for Wileen Edwards to pick up the empty seat on the Senior Citizens Commission.
Very good. Ms. Edwards, I would invite you to come forth and just say hello, and if there's any questions, we would open up the floor at this time. Welcome.
Thank you.
Please, I did read your letter, and there's a lot there, and I want to commend you on your beautiful penmanship. Any questions from committee members or any other council members in the chambers? Well, please take a moment and just acquaint yourself, make your acquaintance known to us, and we'd like to hear your passion, your heart.
Okay. I want to start by saying that it is an honor to serve on the Senior Citizens Commission, and I swear that I want to represent the senior citizens in this city from whatever economic background, whatever ethnicity, and I will strive to give my best effort in representing my fellow senior citizens. And in particular, I do have a passion for the disenfranchised and the people that didn't get the education to be able to commute how they feel.
Thank you very, very much. Any questions or comments? Okay, thank you, and thank you for your willingness to step up in such an expeditious manner. We look forward to seeing just everything that you bring to this group. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, again, in it, this is the last meeting. If we could have a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, very good. Thank you, Dr. Albanese. We will pass that out this evening. And with that, we are adjourned.